Hello guys, it's your boy Sayin, and today I'm here with a mini guide on Girls Frontline 2. So I was struggling at this end stream projection boss, and I was trying to clear it for a bit. I managed to clear it at 39%, so I'm just going to show you my way of doing it. You can take this as a mini guide or reference. Basically, what you want to take note is the boss does single target that will debuff your allies' attack. So you want to send your weakest unit. The boss also does an AoE that debuffs your whole entire team. So you kind of want to have Suomi V1 to cleanse your entire team. And then you also want to implant as much elemental weakness to the boss as much as possible. So you should bring all the elemental unit you can, ideally. So for this case, I brought in like Lotta and I brought in Shakri for burn. The reason why I brought Lotta is because you kind of need one AoE to kill all the mobs that spawns out. I'll show you during the VOD. So yeah, I managed to clear this boss with a combat effectiveness of 40k, which I would say is kind of low. Like, if I'm not wrong, my QJ and my Tololo is like 8k, but my Shakri is like about 5k because she's using a purple weapon. Lotta is using a golden weapon borrowed by Sabrina, and that's basically it. I don't have a lot of units that's really built. My Tololo Helix, it's not. My Helix cause is not fully built either, so I'm missing on some damage. It will make the fight definitely way more easier, but it is what it is. I ran out of resources, so yeah. So ideally, I want to bring Suomi in the front first to implant the ice weakness with the ult, and I also want the Suomi to tank the single target debuff from the boss. It attacks the nearest target, so that's why I send Suomi straight to tank for me. And then here you can see that I'm sending my Tololo, right? I'm gonna use skill number 4, which is my ult, to implant Hydro weakness. And then once I use Hydro again, which is my skill 2, I will do a fixed damage as well. So you can see here, let me pause. Once I do Hydro damage, it does a fixed damage based on your unit's attack. Well, I didn't manage to pause in time, but yes. So ideally, what I'm doing right here is I'm sending Shakri and I'm applying Burn Elemental Weakness to the enemy. And then after that, I'll probably send my QJ to exploit the Elemental Weakness right now. And then you can see the orange numbers. Basically, that's the fixed damage. And I send Lotta on turn 1 to normal attack because ideally in the second turn, I want to break the stability of the boss. Because when the stability of the boss is broken, it summons these 4 mobs that you can kill to like do 3k damage to the boss per kill. It also implants the weakness as well, which I will show later. And yeah, I'll just let it play it out for now. So you kind of need to pay attention to the boss skills sometimes, which I do, but generally what I'm trying to do is I want to send Suomi. I want to have Suomi's having out as much as possible so that I can cleanse. Because the boss is about to do AoE next turn. So basically, the fortune device that just spawned, this is the 4 devices. And when you kill the devices, when you kill one of them, it does like 3k damage to the boss, as well as implanting the weakness they have to the boss as well. So you gotta make use of this mechanic if you wanna do as much damage as possible. Alright, so the boss is going to do a single target and it's going to do AoE. When it does this AoE, ideally, you want to be behind cover. That way you don't get debuff as much. But there's a way to mitigate the debuff, which is just use Suomi's V1 and you can just cleanse the debuff away. This is what I do usually so that Lotta can do more damage and kill all the Fortress device. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it here. The reason why I'm reading what the boss is gonna do, the boss is gonna do a single target and a debuff to one of my nearest unit. And I'm thinking like, oh, my Swami can't tank anymore, right? So I'm probably gonna send Shakri to tank for me. It's also gonna do another AoE. So if I cleanse right now, the boss is going to debuff me again. So ideally, this time you want to be in the cover. Alright, so here I'm basically just thinking. I'm just thinking how do I place my Suomi to do my ult. So basically, that's the entire rotation. Oh, but yes, I'm gonna use Suomi's ult. Wait, sorry. I'm gonna use Lotta's ult. And then after Lotta ult for this specific stage, one thing I forgot to mention is when the boss is stunned and he's looking down, that's where you can do extra damage to the boss. So I want to make use of this. And you know, the extra turn, instead of charging my confidence index with Lotta, I'm going to use skill 2 instead so that I can do as much damage as possible. And you can see like once I do the damage, it also does fixed damage on top of that because it has ice weakness. And yeah, that's basically the whole process. So I'm checking if the boss has burn weakness, which it doesn't. And ideally I want to use my weaker unit to implant the burn, but in this case Shakri, all the burn was under cooldown, so I was like, you know what, I'm just still gonna burn anyways. I think there's a way to min-max with your killjoy using ult during this down period when there's no burn. But for me, I just decided to burn anyway because I feel like the burn does more damage if I proc it every time. So yeah. So ideally you want to save your skill when he's down, when he's stunned like that, because you do the most damage when he's stunned. And once he's not stunned, he gets back his shield. So this is the same process. You wanna break his shield, his stability as fast as possible. But this time he's gonna do like a single target attack, then AoE, and then he's gonna mark a unit that he's gonna do another AoE. And I'm thinking to myself that Suomi can't tank too much, so I sent Shakri to tank for me. You can use whatever units you want, which is like the weakest unit. For me, like my weakest unit here, besides Suomi, is Shakri. So basically, I sent Shakri to tank in this situation. So you follow these steps, you just rinse and repeat. the boss will eventually go down below 40%. Oh, and the reason why I sent Lotta to run to cover is because I think my Swami doesn't have enough confidence index right now to like use the ultimate. So I can't cleanse if I don't have my out next turn. So ideally, I want my units behind cover. That way they don't get debuff as much. If you're exposed, you will get like the full amount. So you want to send your units to a cover in this scenario. So I send my Swami so that it doesn't get debuff as much. And basically, that's like the rotation in a nutshell. You just want to implant as much elemental weakness, and then you want to proc as much as... You want to do as much elemental damage as possible. So right now, the boss doesn't have burn damage, so I'm thinking to myself, do I tank more with Chakri? And then I guess I do. And then I implanted with Chakri. I use my QJ's throwing knife to burn. And once his stability is broken, it's the same thing, a process again. You just use Lotta to out, deal AoE, kill them as fast as possible. And that's basically the boss in a nutshell. You just keep doing this until you get below 40%. And it takes quite a while. It's also a bit RNG because the boss sometimes does different attack pattern, I realize. It's not fixed all the time. Sometimes it changes up. Sometimes it does like double single target. Sometimes it does one single and AoE. So there's a bit of RNG involved, just to take note. So once again, the boss is stunned. This is the moment you can do the most damage. And here I saw that the boss is going to do a single target, then an AoE. But I was thinking I kind of want to cleanse right now so that my Lotta can kill the Fortress device. So it's really case by case. It's really case by case, but I decided to cleanse so that I can make sure my Lotta can kill the Fortress device. And I send the rest behind cover so that they don't get debuffed by the next AoE that much. And from this point onwards, honestly, it's a rinse and repeat. So I'm just gonna fast forward the video ×2 for you guys. Send Tololo behind cover. I kind of wanted to send QJ to cover, but I also wanted to do burn damage, as much damage as possible. So I guess I was kind of greedy in this case. It's okay. Right now, after he's done, he doesn't do anything. So I was thinking to myself, I could probably use Swami cleanse afterwards anyway. Sometimes the Swami skill point or the confidence index can get really tight. He does AoE and then AoE and AoE, and then you realize that you don't have enough confidence index to like cleanse the debuff. So it really depends on the boss attack pattern. It's not fixed, unfortunately, so I saw that the boss can do double single target attack. Even if I shoot with Swami will probably like die to the damage. So I decided to tank with someone else instead. I think in this case, I use Lotta. Alright, just gonna do double single. So I want to cleanse right now because I don't think one Lotta can kill all the extra the spawns, we out the clans. So I cleanse with Swami's out, and basically I use Lota's AoE. So yeah, this is the entire process, guys, in a nutshell. Maybe I'll explain more if I see anything I did. I guess one thing to mention is like when the boss is like fighting and it's on lower HP, he will do more damage eventually, but also he will take more damage, so it's like double H spawn, I guess. So he will eventually ramp up. I would say he ramps out around, I would say around 50%. Maybe it's 60%. I'm not 100% sure. I'm really not 100% sure. But yeah, TLDR, you just want to implant as much weakness. You just want to do as much stab damage. So the stability is broken. That means next turn he's going to take more damage. Lota is going to AoE to clear all the mobs. So after the boss is attacking, he will go to his stun stage. And this is the stage where he gets the most damage. So I would say around turn 14 or 15 is like when he does the most damage. So usually if there's a unit that has to die, I would sacrifice one unit just to do more damage next turn. Alright, you can see the top right now. He's going to do 2 single target to the nearest unit. So I don't know who I'm going to send right here. Probably Shakri, because Shakri is my weakest one. And I want Lotta to do AoE when the mob spawns the fortress device. So yeah, I guess I tank with Shakri. I didn't mind Shakri maybe dying. Because at the end, holy shit, the boss does so much damage that sometimes it one-shots. Yeah, you can see my Shakri almost died. Almost. Now it's kind of unfortunate because I don't know if I want to use Swami's out right now. Or do I want to use Swami's skill to attack? Because the next turn he's going to use Ares, so that means my units are going to get debuffed soon. And then he's going to debuff me before he goes to his stun stage, which like you can do the most damage. So I'm just wondering if I should cleanse now, do more damage, or should I just shoot Shakri or something? So here I chose to shield Lotta. And then I think my Shakri maybe died. Yeah, my Shakri died. I gave out Shakri. So this time I'm gonna cleanse. And once cleansed, Lotta is gonna AoE, do as much damage as possible because this is... Is this turn 15? Yeah, it's turn 15. So you can see, I can slow it down now. So you can see that the boss is like 44% right now. 40, what's that? 42%. So I really barely cleared this. Exploited the burn, and then I'm gonna exploit the ice. And after I exploit the ice, I think you guys saw it a little there. Is 39% right now. And yeah, that's basically how I cleared the boss. So I hope this reference slash mini guide is helpful for you guys. Just in case you guys don't get the maximum tactical score, you can just redo the stage to do the tactical score. But the mission stage, the vulnerability check and everything, You have to do this in one shot. So I think I would say the 40% was the hardest one. I managed to clear at 39%. It might be different depending on your team comp. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Goodbye.